Step right up and get your $500 flamethrower. Got $500 to burn? Billionaire industrialist Elon Musk might be able to help you out. Musk's boring company has made 20,000 very not boring flamethrowers. The Tesla CEO says you'll be glad you bought one to use in the event of a zombie apocalypse against the hordes of undead. Musk added he's totally not secretly creating a zombie apocalypse to generate demand for the device. By Monday evening, Boring had taken 10,000 pre-orders. That's a cool $5 million. If the SpaceX CEO is secretly planning a real-life Walking Dead, there's always Mars. We're just not sure how one of those flamethrowers would work in the Martian atmosphere. But hey, anything for science, right? Stick around for more on Mr. Musk. Where are the costumes? Elon Musk attended a party at a Silicon Valley investor's house that got a little out of hand. The Tesla and SpaceX CEO said he attended the now infamous sex party at investor Steve Jurvetson residence, but that he didn't see anything naughty. Apparently, Musk thought it was going to be a costume party. He was at the party for a few hours and bounced around 1 a.m. after talking some shop. The party was mentioned in a Vanity Fair piece from Emily Chang's new book, Brotopia, about Silicon Valley's male-dominated culture. In Chang's account, an anonymous Jane Doe said she saw a bunch of people cuddling and was offered some powdered goodies. In November, Jurvetson parted ways with his venture firm Draper Fisher Jurvetson and took leave from the boards of Tesla and SpaceX, following an internal investigation.
How Elon Musk hopes to ferry 1 million people to Mars. Billionaire Elon Musk has unveiled perhaps his biggest, most ambitious plan yet, colonizing the red planet with 1 million people. Using the Interplanetary Transport System, or ITS, SpaceX founder Elon Musk hopes to use a spacecraft composed of a 250-foot reusable rocket and 100-passenger spaceship to ferry humans back and forth to Mars. Musk envisions a 1,000-strong Mars colonial fleet of these ships departing en masse. The rocket booster segment of the ITS will transport the spaceship to low Earth orbit. Both parts of the ITS would be made up of carbon fiber, while the rocket would be powered by 42 SpaceX Raptor engines. That same rocket would then return to Earth and launch again with a propellant tank. This tank then connects with the spaceship to refuel the vessel. The spaceship would use 9 SpaceX Raptor engines as well as solar sails, which gather energy from the sun, on the 54.6 million kilometer journey to Mars. After transporting the cargo and passengers to Mars, the spaceship would refuel at the colony there and fly back to Earth. The cost of a ticket is currently estimated at $10 billion, but Musk hopes to get that down to below $200,000, or 0.002% of the current cost. Yeah, best of luck with that, Mr. Musk.
3, 2, 1, blast off. SpaceX is all set to launch the world's most powerful rocket into deep space, and with it, a most unusual cargo, Elon Musk's own car. The Falcon Heavy rocket features 3 Falcon 9 engine cores that are powered by 27 Merlin engines. Instead of concrete or steel blocks that act as mass simulators, the rocket's payload will be a red Tesla Roadster. The Falcon Heavy is designed to get large payloads into space and opens up the possibility of sending manned missions to the Moon or Mars. The powerful vehicle has 2,500 tons of thrust on liftoff, equal to 18 Boeing 747s at full throttle. Its maiden flight is scheduled for late January. A lot of risk is associated with the rocket, which could blow up on ascent. If successful, the Tesla Roadster will be sent into Mars orbit, where it will remain for 1 billion years. On top of this, SpaceX is also aiming to land and recover all 3 of the Heavy's first-stage cores. Meanwhile, on Monday, the Dow Jones reported that lawmakers have been informed about the apparent destruction of a secretive payload, codenamed Zuma, after being taken into space on a recent SpaceX launch. The payload reportedly may have burned up in the atmosphere after failing to separate correctly from the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket.
SpaceX to fly 2 tourists around the moon next year. This week, SpaceX announced bold plans to next year fly 2 paying passengers around the moon, using technology that's still in development. In 2018, SpaceX hopes to fly 2 private citizens deeper into space than any human has journeyed previously. The two travelers will trek some 400,000 miles around and beyond the moon during the 7-day mission, before looping back to Earth. Before training for the mission, SpaceX says each of the unnamed passengers will undergo a series of tests for their health and fitness. The passengers are set to travel aboard a SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft, shot into orbit by a multi-stage Falcon Heavy rocket. The still-in-design rocket's first stage consists of 3 reusable rockets that produce 500,000 pounds of thrust. After separating, the central rocket propels the payload into orbit, where it continues on its voyage. SpaceX founder Elon Musk says the travelers will be trained for emergencies. However, the Crew Dragon spacecraft, which is also still being developed, will be mainly piloted autonomously. The crew can monitor real-time ship diagnostics, change the temperature, and take in views through one of the vessel's 4 windows. The spacecraft will conduct a flyby of the surface of the moon before traveling further out into space, where no human has gone before. It will then use the moon's gravity to slingshot back toward Earth. SpaceX hopes to launch the mission in late 2018, following a series of tests on the rocket and spacecraft. The identity of those traveling remains unknown, but one thing's for sure, they're very brave individuals indeed, and possibly also Scrooge McDuck rich.